The boy Dub Deuce in the building.
All right, what up, what up, what up? It is that guy Dub, and I'm back with another video. How you guys doing at the end of the day, shouted? I'm good money. Now, back by popular demand from Loud and Local, Mr. Jeff. How we doing, brother?
Doing fantastic today. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. Just trying to take it one day at a time. You know how it goes.
I look stoned as hell right now. I'm not even high. My eyes are
Okay, now
peeling.
oh man, now you see, you said to come back on my show because you said you had some things that you wanted to address and you wanted me to ask you the hard questions. Now you
That's
said
exactly right.
you said let's start off with what you wanted to get off your chest.
Well, man, there's a lot of things. In the business of Black Rose, um, and my personal life too. There's a lot of stuff that's always going on. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of times I feel completely overwhelmed with everything. Um, but there's a lot of people out there that doubt me, doubt the things that I talk about, and say that I'm going to make happen. And
Mhm.
a lot of those things too, I'll be honest, a lot of that stuff I kept Lisa in the dark about because there really wasn't any reason to tell her about stuff that I'm working on until it gets to the point where it's gonna happen, where it might possibly happen.
Right.
Um, like the record label thing, a lot of people, I'm not going to name names, but a lot of people were saying things like, oh, he's full of lies. It's all bullshit. Everything he does is bullshit, because I had a lot of things happen along the way. I've been catfished. I've been a lot of spam. A lot of
Mhm.
chicks write me and they're fake. And it's hard to disprove those things when people go into hiding, bro. I had a ex-girlfriend that put up a review about how abusive I am to women and how I killed my ex-girlfriend or my ex-fiance who died of an overdose, in
Mhm.
bed next to me. So when they say those things, it's really hurtful. I'm regular just like everybody else. I have feelings too.
Right.
So a lot of stuff that happens is that people say that, I'm all bullshit. But Dub, I've been out there working really hard. I got us a record label that sponsors the show. I'm working
Mhm.
on a clothing line that's super unique to Cleveland
Okay.
that's going to sponsor the show. So maybe it's my fault because I kept Lisa in the dark about a lot of stuff. I just didn't think it was poignant to have to tell her things that may or may not happen. Yeah.
Right. Well, well, with that being said, what have you learned now from keeping her in the dark? You said, do you think you should be more? She should be more involved in. You said everything. You said, especially since y'all are partners.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I go back and forth with it still now. Like I always tell her, we had, let me go back and say this before I answer that. We had a big
Okay.
fight in June. In June, I think it was, or July. We were just feeling each other out and just start getting used to each other. We had a big
Mhm.
old fight. It more had to do with my personality, and a lot of it I'm to blame for. Also, miscommunication. We didn't really, talk all that personal about stuff, and so a big miscommunication on my behalf, and that's when I realized, I got to be 100% transparent with her. So I still keep her in the dark about a lot of stuff. And the
Mhm.
only reason I do is because this shit's overwhelming. And it's not just like I'm talking to one clothing line, I'm talking to like 100. So what am I going to
Mhm.
do? Fill her in on every single 100 people I'm talking to? That's stupid. So what I do is as shit progresses and it gets closer, I'd be like, Lisa, I'm going to add you to a group chat. You're going to be part of this. And one
Mhm.
day I unloaded like 15 group chats on her. I'm like, step into my world. Like, she has her own stuff she does. She
Mhm.
runs the podcast. She's the owner.
Mhm.
She's she runs Keezy Productions. She's got her plate filled with like flyers and promotional stuff and all this crap that we do. And I handle the bands and the artists and I book the shows and I get them lined up. I take care of the set times. So a lot of that stuff, is she has shit going on. I got shit going on. And I don't think it's relative to bring her in until stuff's about to happen.
Right. Well, when you're sitting there using, like you said, you have like 15 group chats. You saying going on, or that you unloaded 15 group chats on her. You said, but like still, you said like keeping her like because you don't have to let her know everything. You said per se, but you said just like a heads up, yo, I'm going this direction. or you said I have this idea. You said I'll give you more details later, but you said do you think that you said at least letting her know at least the base blueprint is important?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And that's the conversation I had with her. I said, I'm gonna fill you in on all this stuff. You're
Mm,
gonna you're gonna be in on the loop. And but I also have conversations with managers in California and on a daily basis, sometimes a
mm,
couple days a week. So a lot of that stuff is just bullshit stuff that we're talking about, like show promotion and stuff.
mm,
I don't and I see Lisa a lot, and I talk to her on the phone a lot, and I fill her in on this stuff. But Dub, it's overwhelming, bro. There's so much that goes on. I mean, I'm not just talking to artists. I'm talking to record labels. I'm talking to producers. I'm talking to managers and advertising companies. So yeah, we try to get everything out open and transparent, but it doesn't always work that way. And then what happens is, people that she's close to sow the seeds of doubt. They
mm,
put doubt in their head because, maybe in the past she's had dealings with other business partners that haven't gone good for her, right?
mm,
So she's going to have doubts about me. So when people bring shit up, she has doubts. So it came to the point where I had to start proving everything. And dude, I don't want to prove myself on every fucking thing. I really don't want to do that. I don't feel like I have to. I pretty much made a decent name for myself in the business. Some
mm,
people say it's not a good name, um, but I work really hard, and uh, you know, she had doubts. So now I prove everything. Now
mm,
when we talk to Mollis Records, who we just got as a show sponsor, we're gonna do great things with them.
mm.
We had the conversation. The guy zoomed in. I just put my phone right in front of her. I go, "There's your record label. There's
Right.
your clothing line. So, but dude, I was forced to have to do that stuff.
Mm.
You know,
Well, do
and
you feel a sense of accomplishment? You said this like you like yes, you said I may have a said you said that reputation, whether true or false, you said that supersedes me. But you said it like, do you feel a sense of accomplishment when you be like, yo, I'm really talking that talk and walking that walk?
yeah, absolutely. Especially when you get them. Oh
Mhm,
yeah, that's a celebration, man. That's why, like on the show yesterday, we announced Mollis Records. Like, yo, bro, I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. I'm making it happen.
mhm,
And like I tell Lisa, bro, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Like you have that first meeting, you talk on the phone, you get to know what they do. Then they watch your show, and it's a process all along.
mhm.
And sometimes it's a long process, sometimes it's fast. A lot of people don't
I-
know I've been talking to Mollis for over a year.
Oh wow.
You know, I just didn't have the platform to do anything. And once we had the platform, I was like, I'm going after this guy. And I'll
Okay.
say one other thing. We were talking to Black Hat Records. I wanted John Wade to be
Mhm,
part of the show, but he wants to stay in the background. He wants to be a silent partner. He doesn't want to really contribute. So I
mhm.
told Lisa, I'm going after Mollis Records. Fuck that guy. If he doesn't want to be part of it, then let him not be part of it. You
Right.
know, I don't have time to go back and forth with shit.
Mhm.
Got an agenda.
Absolutely. But you saying like on the flip side of that, do you think that you saying somebody saying, I want to be involved, but I want to be a silent partner? You saying like, do you think like in certain areas, you think a silent partner is better than no partner? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that, but what I'm doing is I want them to be out in the forefront because I want and for a couple of reasons. One, I want to be able to prove it. I
Mhm,
got another record label, I want to show it because I got all these motherfuckers that are saying this shit about me that's bullshit and lies and blah blah blah, and I'm not who people think I am and stuff like that. But on the other side, um, I want them to be in the forefront. But if they don't want to be in the forefront, I
mhm.
don't think I could really do anything with that at this point. I need
Right.
somebody to stand up for us and be like, "Hey, I support them." If
Right.
you can't do that and you want to stay in the background, I don't know. For me personally, it'd
Mhm.
be good to have a money sponsor coming in. Maybe if he was silent, but I don't want that.
No,
I
that
don't
I
want
mean
that
that's
for.
I,
I don't want that for Loud and Local.
well, I definitely understand that. I was just used to, like I said, of trying to give the different perspective on using
Yeah,
from the other side. You know what I mean? But it's like,
exactly.
okay, now you like I said, you were saying that you had a using a reputation, or you saying people were saying X, Y, and Z about you. You know this, that, and the third. Do you think that you still have like, are you more important? Is it more important to prove to using Lisa and using your other partners, or is it? Do you think there might be time and energy to using possibly mend broken bridges from your own personal past?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I only really care what Lisa thinks about me because she's
Mhm,
my partner, best friend. I spent a lot of time with her, got really close with her. So I only care what she thinks about me.
mhm,
Everybody else can go pound salt because she knows that I work hard and she knows I'm bringing shit to the table. I am the table, man. And at Keezy Productions, I'm the marketing and advertising guy. I'm not an
right,
owner. I didn't want to be. I wanted her to be the owner. She has the power. You
right.
know, I didn't want to be the owner, and I just wanted to do what I excel at. I'll say the thing about reputation, right?
Mhm,
Here's a little story that nobody knows. Some people very close to me know, but I'm going to share it with you. So,
okay.
like around 2013, 2014, my fiance, I had spent 17 total years with her. Loved her to death, right? But she started using Percocets and snorting them up her nose. And
Oh,
it changed the brain chemistry in her head. She got bipolar. She had borderline personality disorders. She was a mess. Then the arrest started, and the stealing, and the promiscuity, and getting pregnant. I mean, I'm putting it all out there, and I'm going to tell you all.
right.
And then she went to jail. She went to jail for a long time. And that went on from 2014 to 2020. Her family disowned her. They didn't want nothing to do with her. She was a drug addict and stole, right? She
Mhm,
stole everything, man. I'd go to work and I think I'd have 20 bucks in my pocket. There'd be nothing in there. I'd be at the gas station like, fuck, you know? So there was that. So from 2014 to 2020, I was pretty much working and taking care of her. There are so many probation appointments and attorney appointments, psychologists, therapy. I mean, my dance card was full with just her. And had I
mhm,
not done that, she would have been homeless, a drug addict
right.
on the streets turning tricks. So, and I loved her and I wanted her to get better. She never got better. And then she came home from jail and she died, right?
Okay.
The very next day in bed with me.
Mhm,
So, that's what they call complicated grief, man. So,
definitely.
when did I develop this bad reputation? I went to, let's just say the other radio station. That's where I started my podcasting thing.
Mhm,
And that started in, I think it was, I don't know, a year ago.
mhm,
Um, and then I started up doing concerts again. For like from 2014 to 2020, I didn't do any shows or any concerts or nothing. I just went to work and went home and took care of her. So when
mhm,
did I develop this bad reputation? I'd like to know. Maybe it could be the dealings that I've had since I've been with others, the last radio station, and then
mhm,
some of the shows I've done. But I'll say this to you, man. When she died, I made a promise to myself. I'm not gonna let anybody walk all over me no more. I'm gonna have a voice. I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna do me. For all those years, I didn't take care of myself. I took care of her. So it's
mhm,
my time. It's my time to do me, right?
mhm,
So this bad reputation, that word on the streets is nobody likes him. Fuck that.
mhm.
That's not true. There's a lot of people that like me. You know, look at me, look at me.
Right.
No,
Y
I'm good enough. I'm strong enough. I'm smart enough. No, but the thing is, a lot of that's just bullshit, and it's just maybe it's jealousy. I don't know. I don't care. I'm
right,
just tired of it. No, just want to have my say, and then after today, not ever talk about it again.
right. Well, you said one thing I used to not talk about on, you said my platform is using mental health, especially because, like, we hear that word getting thrown around so much, you know saying, using with everything these days, you saying and a lot of times it's geared more towards women because women are gonna tell you
Yes,
their
of course.
feelings, you saying they're gonna sit there and be more likely to go to a therapist or more likely to talk it out with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's like you saying with everything that you've been through, you said it's obviously because I can hear it in your voice, I can see it in your eyes. You said you said you have trauma. You saying
Oh yeah.
you said so like with everything that you did for your ex fiance. You said so. What kind of you said trauma did it put on you, and how are you said where are you going to get yourself through that? Because you said you could be everything for everybody, but you said, what are you doing to get yourself through your trauma?
All right, Dub. Well, the morning of waking up with her dead in bed next to me was traumatizing.
Mhm.
Went into shock, had a mild nervous breakdown, they call it. I
Mhm.
had this great thing called tremors that went on for 6 months where my hands just shook like crazy.
Mhm.
Uh, and Lisa knows I went to therapy and was in therapy for almost 3 years. Had anxiety problems, I had PTSD, obviously. Um,
Right.
and I have some anger issues. And a lot of my anger issues are directed towards women. Um, and I had to work on that. I had to change a lot of my thinking and the way I view things. And the major thing I had to learn was letting go. Of course, I was on medication. I took trazodone and all that great stuff to sleep through the night because I couldn't sleep.
Right.
But 3 years of therapy, and now I'm in group therapy now, and I'm in this thing called shifting, and that's where you change your outlook on life and you shift into a better reality. And I mean, that might sound easier said than done, but it's helped a lot. Like I've
Mhm.
already started to let go of the past, already started letting go of how people feel about me. And you're right, mental health is a major thing. And a lot of dudes don't really get the due diligence
Mhm.
for mental health. Look at the suicide rates for men; they're
Yeah.
outrageous. Because
Absolutely.
us as men, and I don't know how you feel about it, but a lot of times I feel like nobody gives a fuck about me. And
On a
there's
daily basis.
on a daily basis. I hear it every day.
Yeah.
I'll share this with you. Last 2 nights, I do a lot of promoting, right? I
Mhm.
send it, you know, because you see all my shit.
Yeah.
Uh, I send everything out. I do mass text, right? I did a
Mhm.
mass text about a show that we did last night. And then I get messages back from chicks, and they're like, "You're repulsive. You're vulgar. I have zero interest in you." I'm like, "Man, dude, that was just a mass text that I sent to everybody. I didn't specifically look for you to try to slide in your DMs or nothing like that, you know." But whatever, man. Easily, you could just delete the message or block me
Right.
on Messenger, or I could block you, or I can unfriend you, whatever you want. But you don't have to be mean and hurtful. That sucks.
Well, as somebody that using going through your own using your journey and your path, you saying it's like some people it'd be easily you be able to brush it off or just to make a status use it or something like that. How you said how does it hit you when somebody comes back with you said basically some bullshit that you said that was not the intention of your you said post or you said or message in the first place. You said how does that hit you and how do you find yourself processing through it?
Well, a lot of people know I'm an overthinker. So whatever you send me, I'm going to think about it about a million times over
Mm.
before I like get it out in the open. Sometimes I don't put it out in the open because I don't want anybody to know. But today's a different show, and we're going to let it all go,
Hell yeah,
right?
let's do it.
So I don't know, man. It affects me in different ways. Uh, It sucks a lot. I'll say it like that. It sucks a lot
Mhm.
because I'm just like a lot of people. I have a depression problem, and I'll overthink it and I'll get depressed and you know, I let that shit weigh on me.
Mhm.
And that's one of my therapy things now. I'll let that shit go. There's no reason to hold on to that shit.
Definitely.
That's
You
my
know
answer.
saying? Well, I mean, it's a great answer. You just said it's just like because I deal with that from time to time myself. You know what I'm saying? Like when I post or you saying or whatever, these people's like, I'm gonna delete you. You saying if you tag me and stuff, or, I don't give a shit. You saying like me personally, I don't care because at the end of the day, you saying I'm promoting myself. You saying if me promoting myself or you saying trying to you saying get you involved or you said tag you in something, you said because I'm not gonna tag you in something that's some bullshit.
Right.
It's like you yeah, if I'm tagging you in something, it's something I'm trying to promote, whether it's my show, whether it's my Instagram, whether it's my TikTok, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're supposed to do because basically all you're doing on social media is selling yourself anyway. So if my selling myself bothers you that much, deuces, motherfucker. That's just what it is. and you said that's just how I feel about it. You said now, and you said, and I've also lost friends because of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and the way I look at it, I'm at a place now in my life to where if I lose a friend over from me using my platform to talk, or you saying like you, because I look at this as therapy myself. So you say if me saying my truth or having guests on my show, or you saying it bothers you that much, I don't need you around no way. And you saying that's just how I feel. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel too.
Mhm.
Move or get out of the way.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna need me before I need you. You know.
That's right. I just don't
Now,
understand why people have to be so mean and hurtful. Just delete
mhm,
it, bro. It's not a big
right.
deal. You don't even have to comment it. Whatever, man. People are nuts. It's one thing I've come to terms with is people are crazy, man. And you can't control anything. People are gonna
Mhm.
think whatever they want to think anyway,
Yeah,
no matter how
absolutely.
much
And
you
now,
prove anything.
mhm,
Just on to the
now,
next bullshit.
mhm. Now, how hard has it been for you to get in and you said locked in with newer artists that you said may have heard things in the street or whatever, whatnot? You said, do you feel like when you're approaching a new artist that may have heard things about you, do you find it harder to break the ice with that particular artist?
Honestly, I've had a few bands in the past that I've not gotten along with, that I've thrown off shows, that I've had, I wouldn't say physical altercations, but close. Um, I've had that happen. And but moving forward, what I did was I just started working with better people, better
Mhm,
promoters, more spiritual people, more motivated, more about uh, spreading love and stuff like that, and working with more family orientated promoters,
mhm,
record labels. Then those guys then turn me on to their artists. So I have a good relationship with Throwback Tribe Agency, Johnny Bobak, working with this guy named Darren Poe from Big Buff Records. So all those contacts that we've made or I've made and then shared with Lisa have been
mhm.
super positive. And then that's another thing too. I mean, I went through a tough time, for a long time, and um, I when I went to this group thing, I decided at that point in my life, and right before we opened Keezy, that I was gonna change shit, and that's what I'm working on now. And letting shit go, man, you gotta let it go, or it's just gonna burn up inside of you.
Right. Well, do you have a level of forgiveness in you to where, like you said, maybe people that have spoke badly on your name, you said, or you said, and maybe in the future maybe that you see them in passing. Do you find yourself using to where you can make an opening to where y'all could re relitigate a conversation to maybe change the perspective that they may have in their head?
I guess that's a two-parter. I'm never going to be able to change the way people think of me, right? You're
Mhm,
never going to change their minds. They might notice you and see that you're doing stuff, but those type of people are always going to be naysayers. They're always going to be like, on to the next bullshit, right?
mhm,
So, I mean, it's hard to change that perspective of you. But me as a person, I give everybody second and third chances, even bands and artists, man. I mean, if a band that I dealt with that I told them to go f themselves came back and said, "Hey, man, we want to get on some shows," we'd probably have a conversation and then we'd go forward with it. Everybody deserves second chances, third chances, fourth
mhm,
chances. I gave Crystal dozens of chances, man, when I was with her before she passed. I was
mhm.
always hoping for change. It didn't happen, but some people can change.
Absolutely. Now, is it like what would be the best way to come to you if you were you said like say you were said band that you said had a you said a mix up you said with you, how what would be the best way to come to you to try to you said straighten out that relationship? So, like
I
if
think
you could tell somebody like I said, if you could talk to any of those bands or any of those people, you said like and they maybe they wanted to you saying right the wrong or you saying mend the bridge or whatever that what would be the best way that you would be able to receive coming to you to get that started?
all right, so I learned this from a chef a long time ago that I worked for, and he used to say all the time, come to me with a solution and not a problem, right? A handshake goes a long way. Just reaching out through text and being like, "Hey, man, I'd just like to talk to you. See if we can get on the show and something like that." That's all it takes with me. I'll just reach out. I don't want to give anybody the impression that I'm not easy to talk to or not forthcoming. All you got to do is talk to me, man. I'll talk to you. I'm pretty easygoing and chill and relaxed. Really don't like a lot of drama. That's the one thing a lot of people don't realize is I don't want drama. It's the first
Right.
thing to my mind. I also don't want to, date just random chicks. I'm not. A lot of people think I'm just like this dude that has a harem. I don't. I'm looking for one specific type of girl.
Okay.
Very nurturing and loving, and not all about like today's society, man. So a
Well,
lot
you
of
said,
people
well,
say what they
that's
want.
interesting. You said a woman that's not about today's society. In your opinion, or in your perspective, I'm not gonna say opinion. In your perspective, you said what is today's society, and how did what of today's society turns you off from certain women?
All right, so the one thing that always sticks in my mind, and Lisa probably listens to me say this all the time, but I don't want to feel like I'm only valued if I provide something. In
Mhm.
all my relationships, and still with girls I meet today, I always feel like they only look at me with value if I provide something, and I hate that. I offer
But
so much
don't
more.
we all do that?
Like to share my life with somebody, not just be used for
Mhm,
their cell phone payment or buying their kids clothes or paying
mhm.
for Christmas. I don't want to feel like I'm being used. I hate that
Right.
feeling. It's the
So
worst.
you don't want to feel like you're being used materialistically,
Yeah, exactly.
because if you
Well,
think about it,
I
because
was
if you think
just saying,
about it,
unfortunately, in
we're all
today's
being used.
society, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause like I said, if you think about it, we're all being used, whether it be for using monetary value, time, energy, space. It's like so. It's like a lot of times you have to be specific. Which is why I said you don't want to be used monetarily or materialistically, which is understandable and commendable. Because at the end of the day, you said I got so many things I can do with my money, and if all you want me for is money and you said materialistic things, I'm not the guy for you, which is what I'm pretty much gathering that you're saying, right?
that's right. And but respect goes a long way too. Like if I knew that my job as a man in our relationship was the provider, as long as I felt like I was being respected or treated like I deserve to be treated, I'd be cool with it. But when you
Mhm.
disrespect me and use me, yeah, that's a no go. That's a
Right.
total no go.
You said absolutely. Now, you said like ideally when you saying you're looking for a woman, it's like is you think the best way is like to meet people in person, or are you into the you saying meeting people in a DM, or you just like what's your ideal way of meeting said woman that you're looking for?
Yeah, well, um, yeah, I don't know, man. I've not had good luck with any of it. I have dated here and there. I've fallen in love, a few times since, Crystal's been dead. But I'm not good at this dating thing. I'm not good at 2024 and how it goes. Sliding into DMs. I don't like to do that in the first place. I hate the whole online thing because you
Mhm.
never know what you're gonna get. You get catfish, you get fucking people making fake pages, and you think you're talking to them, but you're really talking to somebody else. You're talking to some dude in a different country. You don't know who you're talking to, man. Don't do any of those dating things like whatever they're called. I don't even know. Like,
Mhm.
uh, whatever they're called. I don't even know, man. 'Cause I don't do them. Um, I'm older. I'm 56. I like to just be able to walk up and talk to somebody and have a conversation, and
Mhm.
go from there. Unfortunately, 2024, it's very difficult to go up and talk to anybody. Unless you're 6 feet tall, making six figures and a 6-inch dick, ain't nobody want to talk to you. I make $50,000 a year, man. Um, I'm pushing, trying to make that 100K, six
Mhm.
figures. But let me say this though too. There are a lot of good chicks out there. There's a lot of good women out there. I don't want you to think that I'm like down in women. There's a lot of good chicks. There's a lot of
Mhm.
nurturing women. I just haven't found any. That's my problem. I can't find anybody who's decent. They're
Mm.
all toxic.
Most of us are toxic these days in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. You just got to find the one that you think can match your toxic and y'all can get along. In some
Yeah,
kind of way.
right. Can handle my baggage. I got baggage too, man. So I don't know.
I mean, we all do, but it's like now, how early in the dating process do you feel comfortable telling somebody that you're into therapy?
Oh, well, I think with me though, man, everybody knows everything pretty much because of the podcast. They hear us talking, so everybody knows I'm in therapy. Everybody knows I have mental problems.
Mhm,
Lisa will tell you that it's gotten way better since when we first met. It was pretty wild. I'm still wild.
mhm.
Um, I'm never gonna get rid of that rocker part of me. It's always gonna be there forever. Um,
Right.
but I don't know. They all know I'm in therapy anyway. So, and the ones that don't, I mean, I don't really talk about it anyhow. I
Mhm,
try not to ever really talk about, what happened with my fiance that passed,
mhm,
because as soon as you bring that shit up, it's all over. I'll tell you this funny thing. I dated this girl. Her name was Rachel, and my fiance that passed, her name was Crystal. And
mhm.
for like a year, dude, I could not call Rachel by her name. It was always Crystal. And that
Okay.
created so many problems, man. She was just not, she hated that shit. But I
Right.
couldn't help it. It was like subconsciously, it just came out every freaking time.
Mhm.
Also came out at the worst moments, like during sex.
Oh
And it
wow.
wasn't
Yeah.
like I was thinking about her. It was in my brain. I just couldn't turn it off.
Mm.
Sucks.
It definitely. You said
Yeah.
it's like have have you had were you able to you said articulate to Rachel? You said like that you weren't necessarily doing it on purpose. It was almost like a subconscious thing. You said and if you were able to articulate that, how did she receive it?
Yeah, well, I tried to talk to her about it. She never received it well. She hated it.
Mm,
Um, it created a lot of problems. I think that she kind of thought that like she wasn't good enough, maybe. And then I was talking about Crystal, and not being able to get over her and stuff. I'm over it. I'm over what happened, dude. I'm ready to move on with my life and I'm ready to start dating. I was ready then,
mhm,
It just mentally, man,
mhm.
and stuff happens mentally that you just sometimes don't have control over.
Right.
And it just would happen at the worst moments.
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna sit there and expound upon that a little bit, you said with because you were explaining your trauma. But you said on the flip side of that coin, you calling Rachel Crystal, do you think that may have given her trauma? You said maybe feeling like she's not good enough, like you mentioned before?
Yeah, probably so. But I'll also say this about her: she was toxic as fuck. She was the girl that left. I'm gonna say it. She was the girl that left that horrible review on the other radio station's Facebook page. And
Mm,
dude, that really bothered me because when I like voiced concern about it and I wanted it deleted and stuff,
mm,
nobody cared. Nobody gave a fuck. But when shit was said to my partner, everybody seemed to care. So it
mm,
made me feel like shit. Like nobody gives a fuck about Jeff. People can
mm,
say whatever they want. When it comes to somebody else, then everybody seems to take notice. Like other show hosts, would if there was an issue, they were taken care of right away. When it was Jeff, I was just like discarded. I was like, that's what hurt and pissed me off. And but Rachel, I'll go back to say Rachel. She was a total succubus. I mean,
right.
she didn't care about me. She only cared about what I provided. That was, and that just reaffirmed a lot of stuff for me.
Yeah, absolutely. But you just said it's like I said, because we as people also have to, like I said, accept accountability for using the traumas or the hurts and pains that you said we may cause other people. Yes, she may have been a succubus. Yes, you said she may have been toxic as fuck, and you saying it like or whatever. But at the end of the day, have you totally taken accountability for what you said energy you may have pushed onto her? You get what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
would love to be able to take that accountability, but as many people, they go
Mhm,
into hiding and you can't get a hold of them. I couldn't get, you think I could really get her to like come forward and be like, hey, I was the one that put up that thing because she used an assumed name. So it's hard to get a lot of these people to come forward to even talk to them about anything. But I will say this: I never called Lisa Crystal, never once. Although I think
I think Lisa
one
kicked,
time I might have called her Rachel.
I think Lisa might kick your ass.
Yeah, dude, she is a fighter, man. She's strong. Yeah, she's very strong,
Definitely.
strong-willed, strong power, and you can tell she has a really strong energy. But yeah,
Mhm.
you know, I would like to make amends for a lot of things I've done in the past,
Mhm.
um, to a lot of people, but unfortunately, sometimes you can't, man. Sometimes people don't ever want to talk to you again,
Mhm.
and it's just how it is.
You said, well, even if those people don't want to talk to you or you said whatever, what have you, you saying right now I'm giving you the floor. You saying like if you got it on your mind, get it off your chest. You saying because like they may hear this and be like, man, I didn't know that. You saying that he felt that way, or you said I thought he was just a dick. You said I really didn't know the man had feelings. Per se. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people think I'm a dick. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. It happened last night. I said to somebody I was with last night, I'm like, hey man, I don't think that person likes me very much. And you could just tell by the way they talked to me and dealt with me. But hey man, it is what it is. I have no idea why you don't like me. All I've ever did was be nice to you, but people are what they are. I can't You can't change everyone. You can't change the world. All you can do is put love into the world and have love come back to you. And here's one other thing I learned, man. I truly believe this. What you put out into the world, good, love, passion, creativity, that stuff comes back to you. If you put out into the world negativity and putting people down and using people and disrespecting them, that comes back to you. I truly believe that because since I've started being more positive and really believing in myself again, because for a long time, bro, I didn't
Mhm.
believe in myself. Part of me died when Crystal died, And I had to relearn that shit again. I am important. I am special. I am
Mhm.
created in God's image. And I'll say another thing too. I am Christian. I pray every night before I go to sleep.
Mhm.
Work in progress. I'm not perfect. Swear a lot. I will throw a punch. I mean, eye for an eye. That's how I see it.
Mhm.
But I am a good person, So when I get people coming at me and they're mean or saying hurtful things, whatever, you gotta let it go.
Well, with you changing your life and putting out more positivity, are you okay? And do you feel that what you're putting out is good enough?
Yeah, I guess good enough is in the eye of the beholder. I guess, really, right?
I mean, good
Um,
enough for you.
Good enough for me. Yeah. I'll say this: I work hard. I love hard. I like to have fun. Um, so yeah, I think it's good enough for me. I can only do so much, and I can only
Mhm.
do the best that I can do, and everything else can just f off.
Right. Now, you said it's funny, like, cause like I said, you said I'm listening to you, and you said you're taking accountability. You saying, and you've talked about you saying your struggles, and you saying your everything that you said, some of the things that you've gone through, and it's like you're basically you said sharing your testimony. And you said, which I definitely appreciate because you said that's what we're here for. We are here to talk, just tell our story, and everything like that. So with that being said, it's like to somebody else to somebody that's lost, like what is the greatest piece of advice that you think that you could give them to get started on the journey to get to at least to where you are now and beyond?
Man, yeah. All right. So I've been lost a few times along the way. And we all get lost. We all take the wrong path sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes we think we're taking the right path, and it's the wrong path. That happens all the time because life is just one big lesson, and it's a big playground too. You're allowed to have fun here before you pass on and go to the other side, which I believe. Um, Being lost, man, is just a timeout along the way, right?
Mhm.
I think you need to find that fire inside you. You need to find out what motivates you, what you feel strongly about, what you want in life. And once you figure that out, then you just go for it. Because nothing is handed to you, bro. You got to go and get it yourself. right?
That-
And that's the way I look at it. I mean, I'll say this to you, man. I had trouble with suicidal thoughts. Many times after Crystal died, I didn't want to be here no more. Many times I even still think about this, like, man, this kind of sucks here, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's a very short time on this earth, and I'm going to go after whatever I can.
Mhm.
And I don't care who's in the way. I'm going to just do whatever I want to do. I'm not going to try to hurt anyone or
Mhm.
take advantage or anything like that. I'm going to go after what I want to go after. I want to achieve my goals. I got a whole bunch of them. Like that,
Right.
make it happen.
Now you mentioned you said you didn't want to hurt anybody, but we're talking our shit and we're trying to figure out. You said because like I said, we never know who this is going to reach. Why do you think that certain people that are dealing with their own certain issues want to take other people with them? I've never understood that concept.
Misery loves company.
Oh,
Nobody's really satisfied until you pull somebody down to your level, maybe. I don't know, jealousy. Could be many different things. I'm not out there competing with anybody either.
mhm,
I'm competing with myself.
mhm,
I'm trying to make things happen. Well, let's talk about Keezy, make things happen for Keezy, get sponsors and people that are paying money, make us go global. That's the stuff I'm after. I'm not trying to compete with Joe Schmo's radio station down the road. I'm not trying to compete with, Static or any of those guys. I don't care. I'm just
mhm.
trying to get what I want to the forefront. And also at the same time, I don't want to step on anybody's necks getting it. I don't want to
Right.
be remembered at my eulogy as some asshole that just went after whatever he wanted. He didn't care about anybody else. I'm not a Ebenezer Scrooge, bro.
Right.
I'm also the type of guy that if I work with you and you're successful, it makes me successful.
Mhm,
I say this to Lisa all the time. One hand washes the other. If King V got successful from doing our shows, that would make me successful too. And
mhm,
success doesn't always have to be about money and status. It could just be making a goal.
mhm.
My goal this week was to hit 200 views. We were like 40 short or something, whatever it was. But man,
Mhm.
we got a lot of views. I was pretty happy about it because my first initial goal was just to get two. If I could just get
Mm,
two people listening or watching, it was a success, right? So
absolutely.
it went beyond what we thought was possible. And for the first show or the second show, because they're all test shows right now, we're just trying to work out the kinks and figure out what we like, and then hopefully go forward and have something, a brand, a podcast brand. So that's what we're working
Now,
on. So,
okay, you said that you starting a podcast. You said it was like we're going towards your podcast brand. Like, what is the first goal you want to accomplish? You said when it comes to that podcast brand.
well, we could take let's do Loud and Local because that's the show I'm on. And although I don't really want to talk about Loud and Local all that much, but I'll say this: uh, wanting to get sponsorships,
Mm,
people that matter in the industry. Of course, we're a music station, so I'm going to want a record label. I'm going to want a clothing line. I'm going to want a bar. I'm going to want stuff that I feel drawn to, right? And as a musician and a rocker, I definitely want those things. It would be pretty cool to have some other stuff too. Um, my main focus for Loud and Local is to get sponsorships, and I told our station owner, the next thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to start getting sponsors for the whole station.
mm,
Money, revenue coming in that can help support the station. Pay for office rent and stuff like that.
mm,
So building the brand for us is, it's a process. We're going to go all through December and find out what we like and what we don't like, and then in January we'll probably really start running with it. But yeah, you have to build a brand. You have to be known for what you're known for, like you are, right? And that's how we're going about it. Though that's how I'm going about it. She's got her own stuff to do. I got
You
my
said
stuff.
we all. You just said now going back to Lisa. You said it's like through your journey. You said like how has Lisa's positive you said mindset. You said how has it helped you?
All right. Well, some things about Lisa. So I met Lisa when she was the GM at the old station I was at. Um, soon as she walked in the room, she lightened up the room, right? Then we started working together, and she's, you know how she is. She's got a bubbly personality. She's super positive. She's nurturing. She's motivating. And, you know, I was going through a hard time at that time. You know, many times I thought about quitting Loud and Local and not doing it because I had issues with like sound or whatever, you know, bullshit drama that I never wanted to really be part of. But, you know, she made everything better. So, uh, and she'll even tell you that along the way, the mental health thing got better. And it just progressively got better and better and better until we're at to the point where we are now. And she's a good friend. You know, I see her all the time. Can't get rid of her.
We love Lisa.
Yeah,
You
she's
do.
great.
Oh yeah. You're sitting now like me personally. You saying with my show, I produce my show, I edit my show, I do my thumbnails for my show, all that shit. And you saying it's like so from going from where you were with you saying a station to now to where more of the brunt of the work is on your back. Is it more satisfying doing it that way, or is it more nerve wracking?
You know, man. All right, so it's not nerve wracking whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you how we laid out the company. Lisa is station owner. Don't want to be station owner. I talked to a show earlier today that wants to come over to us, and I was like, I'm not station owner. I'm not station manager. I'm not studio manager. I'm none of those things. I excel at marketing and advertising. And I'm a firm believer, if you excel at something, then you should do it. So my job over here is to get our advertising, to get our marketing, to get promotional stuff, get all the shows, getting lots of views, building the brand, all that stuff.
Right.
That's my job. She's going to run the day-to-day operations. She's good at it. She already has her own business, you know, and she does that stuff. I don't want to do that. So, but, you know, I mean, like I do have a lot of responsibilities, you know, a lot of things I'm working on, but I don't feel stressed at all. I actually feel less stressed being here and doing this because I don't feel like that monkey on my back no more. I just, you know, I don't want to name names. I don't want to throw things out there and be hurtful to anyone because that's not what I'm after and not what I want to do. But I just felt like prior to doing this, I felt like there was a lot of drama, a lot of stress, a lot of bullshit that didn't need to be there, man. You got a problem with me? Fucking tell me. You want, but don't come. This is the thing. This is how I am. Don't come at me all tough. Don't come at me and say stuff like, I will not tolerate this. You know, dude, don't be like that because you're just going to get a bad reaction from me. You know, I'm trying to be all spiritual and loving, man, but I'll fucking punch you in the mouth if you come at me like that. And I don't like that shit. And I especially don't like when my friends are disrespected. And we had a situation that happened last night where I took some friends up to a bar that I hang out at. And they disrespected the people I was with. And dude, I don't like that. I'll never go back there again. That's just how I am. I'm definitely not going to give them a second chance. There's no, there's no reason to be like racist and mean and shit like that. I'm not going to say where we were, but I'll never spend one penny in there again. That's not cool.
Right. Now, you said that's interesting because you said it's like we're in 2023, and you said you mentioned the word racist. To me, I don't understand it. You said, like, dude, at the end of the day, we all put our pants on one leg at a time. You know what I'm saying? It's like I work just as you said. I work my ass off to provide for my family. You work your ass off to provide for your family. What the fuck does my skin color have to do with our interaction? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I totally agree.
It's like I just don't understand how certain motherfuckers sleep at night knowing they hate somebody just because of the color of their skin or where they come from or you saying their nationality, their gender, or what is like that is insane to me. I don't understand it.
I think a lot of it is generational, where they learned from their parents. Like my parents definitely had. You know, I come from an Italian family. Typically, Italians and African Americans, Italians don't typically like African Americans.
Mm,
And so it's generational. So being brought up in my family, I'm not going to say my mom and dad were racist. They just had preconceived notions of different races, and stereotypes, right? And
right.
then comes down to my generation, right? And my generation has those same thoughts because their parents had that generational thing and they raised their children like that.
Mhm,
But there's going to come a time when we go down farther and farther in generations, like probably the kids that are 10, 12 years old now, that aren't
mm,
going to be like that because society is dictating now that everybody matters, that skin color doesn't matter, that fat shaming is wrong. You can't say retard anymore. You have to say special needs. A lot of that shit's going to change. It's just going to take
mm,
a minute because we're in the older generation still. And
yeah.
it's just the way it is. But you're right, man. You're a man like I'm a man. You put on your pants the same way I do. It's all the same. You work hard, I work hard. There should not be a divide whatsoever. But unfortunately, there is.
Mm,
And unfortunately, there's still people out there that think that they could say things and get away with it. Like last night, man, had I not been there, someone was going to go over the bar and beat the hell out
oh,
of somebody. You can't say shit like that. If I was to be at a bar with Lisa that she hung out at, or she took me somewhere and somebody called me boy and kept
mm.
calling me boy and boy, what do you think's going to happen?
There's about to
Right?
be some furniture moving in that motherfucker.
Give me some rights, bro. I'll go over the bar. I don't care.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let anybody disrespect me like that ever.
Absolutely. It was funny because there's this girl that I work with, and usually like we don't talk that often. Usually I see her in passing, and like because anytime usually like for whatever reason, like I guess I look approachable or whatever. So like and when people come to me, they want to tell me their whole life story. Like even if I didn't ask for it, you see, like it's different because you and I are having this conversation now. But like if I don't know you like that, and you come to tell me like your whole life story, well, look, yeah, I'm just, like, I don't even know you. Like, what is your name? You say, like, but you're telling me all your business. Well, she comes up to me the other day. She goes, yeah, you said my boyfriend's cheating on me. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, it's just crazy. You saying his sister told me and blah 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 blah, and my mom said that my big old dog was end up biting my boyfriend. I'm sitting here like, how did one thing go to another? She was like, then she goes, but it's crazy. One thing about my dog's such a sweetheart. The only problem with my dog doesn't like black people.
Oh
What?
Jesus, that's
I'm so
such bullshit, man.
your
Animals are
dog.
the most unconditionally loving things in the world.
Mm, it's just like it came out of nowhere, and I'm just like, your dog doesn't like black people. Okay, noted. You have a good one.
Yeah, that's crazy. My
It's just
dog hates
crazy,
pasta.
right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. I mean, because like I said, anytime that she has talked to me, I can tell that she has trauma in her life, and where she takes medication, I guess, to keep her thoughts down from wanting to commit suicide and things like that. So, and it's just crazy because, like I said, I'll listen to people and then try to listen to their stories. Like, and I appreciate either people like you coming on my show to to sit there and tell your story, or to sit
Right,
there and try to sit there and restructure the narrative that what may be painted about you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very important because, like I said, we all have a story to tell, and can't nobody tell your story better than you. So I definitely, you saying before we get up out of here, you saying like we still got a few minutes, but I wanted to make sure to let you know that I appreciate you coming on my platform to tell your truth. You saying
right.
I just wanted to let you know that.
I appreciate that too, and I want to say one last thing too, just in regards to the past.
Hmm.
And you made me think about it when you brought up the cheating thing.
Hmm.
I never stole anybody from the old
Hmm.
station. I never stole Lisa to come over here. That was never the intention whatsoever. It
I
reminds
didn't
me
know
of
Lisa was
when a
property.
guy complains about his girlfriend being stolen by another guy. No,
Hmm.
bro, you lost her by your
Hmm.
own decisions and your own free will. You neglected her and didn't make her feel respected and didn't use her to her qualities. You
Hmm.
lost her. I didn't steal her. I gave her money. Dude, I remember the first time we did a show and I put money in her pocket. It felt so good to put money in her pocket. She's like, "You keep giving me all this money. We're going to be really good partners, right?"
Mhm.
And dudes don't lose their girlfriends. They leave them, you
Mhm.
know? A lot of dudes out there neglect their girlfriends and don't treat them with respect and stuff like that. I have 2 sisters and a mom. I know all about respect.
Right.
So, I just wanna put that out there. I never stole no one, and I would never try to steal anyone or put that thought in her head whatsoever.
Mm.
I would rather she wanted to come with me because she wanted to come with me and
Right.
do something positive and make a difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Have to say about that.
You saying that you heard it here first, folks. You saying it's like I didn't know Lisa was property, but that's neither here nor there. But
No, I don't want to make it seem like that either. She's not property whatsoever. She's an individual, but I'm just making a reference as to
oh,
like when
absolutely.
people, you know, say you stole my girlfriend, bro. No, I didn't. She left you, man.
Mhm. Absolutely. But you know, saying it's like I said, once again, I definitely appreciate you coming on. You said you are always welcome on my show, no matter what you said. What you said, and I definitely look forward to you saying whatever your ventures you have going on into the future and working with you guys. You saying like I said, you always have a place here if you want to come talk your shit. You want to you saying promote. You saying whatever band you or whatever you said next endeavor you guys got going on. You guys are always welcome on my show. You said now before we get up out of here, you said let everybody know. You said how to follow you and you said what do you have coming up.
So we're on our show. Lisa and I are on Loud and Local. She's the station owner of Keezy Productions. You could find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the good stuff, right?
Mm.
And you're also going to be on Loud and Local not too far down the road. I think it's the first week of January. We're going to have Keezy Khan on from Nigeria. We're going to do all this stuff about traditional Nigerian music and Nigerian top artists. And we're going to interview you, Dub. And I'm looking forward to that. And I know Lisa is too. We both like you a lot. You had us on your show before we even started our new show, and it was a really great promotional thing. And you know how I am. I'm going to share the hell out of this one. I'm going to get you
Let's
some
do
views. Post it up everywhere and get your views, man.
Little Dub come.
Hell
Little
yeah.
Dub, all right, there you go.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm glad I got to speak a little bit of truth. I didn't really want to destroy or put anybody down because I'm not about that. And I want people to know out there I'm not about that. I'm a good guy and I work hard and going to make a success for Keezy because we want to make a success for ourselves. And it's not about competing with nobody.
Absolutely. Now, with all that being said, if you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss another video. And without further ado, I love you. Lil Dub loves you. Jeff from Loud and Local loves you. Lisa
right.
loves you. We out of here, man. Peace.
All right, peace.
The boy Dub Deuce in the building.